Good morning, students. Hope you are doing well. We are what our thoughts have made us, says Swami Vivekananda. So, always take care of your thoughts and think that you are born to make your own history and serve our nation. Well, today we are going to learn the poem Ulysses, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Tennyson was a British poet lived during the reign of Queen Victoria. He remains one of the most popular British poets. He wrote short lyrics like Break, 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 The Charge of the Light Brigade, Tears, Idle Tears, and Crossing the Bars. He also wrote verses on classical mythology such as Ulysses, Idols of the King, and Tithonus. Well, this poem, Ulysses, is a dramatic monologue that seems to be rendered by a single character, Ulysses, consisting of 70 lines with iambic pentameter and talking about the adventures of Ulysses. The entire poem is spoken by a single character, Ulysses, whose identity is revealed by his own words. The poem has three parts. In the first 8 stanzas, Ulysses speaks about his thirst for adventure, which does not allow him to remain in his kingdom as a mere ruler. In the next 3 stanzas, he speaks about handing over his kingdom to Telemachus with total confidence in his abilities. And in the last 6 stanzas, Ulysses calls his sailors, urging them to venture into unknown lands until his death. Who is Ulysses? Ulysses refers to the Greek hero who had to battle through adversaries of all types in order to return home to Ithaca after his exploits in the Trojan War. In Tennyson's configuration, Ulysses comes back home but realizes that he cannot be contented with a life of domesticity and yearns for adventure until his death. The poem begins with Ulysses' frustration at how dull and pointless his life seems as the king of Ithaca, trapped at home on the rocky islands of Ithaca. His wife Penelope seems to be old, and he must spend his time enforcing imperfect laws to govern his subjects, who seems to be uncivilized and stupid. He thinks that people don't know the greatness of himself, rather they try to store up wealth, sleep and eat. But Ulysses still yearns to travel the world like he used to do. As long as he lives, he does not want to stop gaining knowledge of the different lands, people, their culture, lifestyles, ways of governing themselves, etc. He says that he found joy fighting alongside his fellow soldiers, men he honored and respected when he fought in battles far from home in the Trojan War. Ulysses exclaims that it is boring and unsatisfying to stay in one place while he compares himself to a sword that has been allowed to rust uselessly away rather than being used generously in battles. He feels that already he is almost at the end of his lifetime and wants to live or spend every hour potentially by exploring the world and keep learning more. He wants to go beyond the limits of what humans have seen and known so far, like a shooting star that goes beyond the horizon when it falls and disappears from sight. Ulysses then introduces his son Telemachus to the passive listeners or the unknown readers. He says that his son will inherit Ulysses' role as the king of the island during his absence. He affirms that he loves his son, who is conscientious and thoughtful about how he will best carry out his responsibilities as a ruler. With patience and judgment, he will work to civilize the fierce, wild people of Ithaca and make them more gentle to devote their lives to productive civic activities. Ulysses now looks out towards the port where the wind is blowing and the sails of his ship are puffing. He calls on his former crewmates to join him on a final dangerous voyage to see the untraveled world. He admits that they are older and weaker, but insists that age does not mean the end of heroism. He is determined to remain the heroic figure that he was as a young man, trying to reclaim one's youthful bravery than to accept old age and live an idle, sheltered life. He refuses to yield not to his enemies on the battlefield but to time and age itself. He says that the sea in the Gulf may wash them down and they may reach the happy isles which are known as Greek paradise. There they may see the great Achilles, friend of Ulysses. Thus, Ulysses' call is an inspiration for all those who seek true knowledge and strive to lead meaningful lives. Thank you.